In today's video, I'm going to do an end of year recap of the most popular franchise brands of 2022. I expect some of these brands, sadly, are not going to make the 2023 list, as a few of the brands, including on the #1 spot, Subway, are losing over 1,000 locations per year. You heard me right. They're losing over 1,000 locations per year. So some brands are going to be moving down in the popularity list and are not going to be on the 2023 list. At least at Vetted Biz, that's our expectation. So I mentioned Subway. The investment cost is high, anywhere from $182,000 to $500,000. Are you going to make your money back based on that investment of $300,000, $400,000? Not likely. As a resale value for a Subway, generally about $200,000 for resales of Subways in the United States. So it's a failing brand that is on the decline, where you have other sandwich concepts like Jersey Mike's that are opening a lot more locations. Next up is McDonald's. Still a pretty profitable business. Average sales of McDonald's in the US at $3.4 million. You can expect as an owner to make $300,000 to $400,000 a year from owning and operating McDonald's, but it's pretty expensive. $480,000 to $2.4 million for McDonald's. The US location count is 13,000. Next up is H&R Block, where they've lost hundreds of locations over the past few years. They currently have 9,900 locations. For those that aren't familiar with the H&R Block brand, it's a tax preparation company primarily in the US and Canada. Number 4, you have JanPro with 8,600 US locations. Across Canada as well, they have over 10,000 locations. Anywhere from $1,000 to $14,000 net worth for you to open up a JanPro. You got to have liquid capital of just $1,000. So it's a pretty low investment, ranging anywhere from $5,000 to $73,000 to open up a JanPro cleaning franchise. Number 5 is Dunkin' Donuts. We've done videos on them in the past. Total unit count in the US, 8,000 locations of Dunkin' Donuts. Minimum net worth to open, though, of $250,000 to $500,000, depending on the type of business. And it's going to cost you $500K to almost $2 million to open up a Dunkin' Donuts. Number 6 is Burger King, based here in Miami, Florida. Today, Burger King's the second largest fast food hamburger chain in the world, currently with about 20,000 locations across the world, and the US count is at 7,000. Depending on where you open up, like in an airport, it might just cost $300,000, or if it's a freestanding location, it could cost up to $4.1 million to open up a Burger King. Number 7 is Domino's Pizza. They continue to expand across the world with more than 17,000 pizza shops in over 60 countries. Also, the total number of US locations is about 6,600. They continue to grow in the United States. Total investment of $100,000 to $582,000. I don't know of another franchise system that's minted more millionaires than Domino's Pizza, because traditionally as a franchisee, you have to already work at a Domino's Pizza to be awarded a franchise license. Bimbo Bakeries is American corporate arm of Grupo Bimbo, one of the largest Mexican multinational companies. They have about 6,000 locations. They're closing a lot of locations in the United States, though. It's going to cost you anywhere from $15,000 to $600,000 to open up a Bimbo bakery in the United States. They're losing hundreds of locations a year, so it might not be the best business to be on, and I don't think they're going to be at the number 8 slot. Number 9 is Ameriprise. They provide financial advice to clients in the United States. They have about 6,000 locations, investment of $11,000 to $127,000 to open up, and you're expected to pay a royalty fee of $290 per month, and you're not required to pay any marketing fees. Number 10 spot is Wendy's. Wendy's currently has more than 7,000 locations across the world, but their US unit count is 5,900. So there is definitely some room to continue expanding abroad as well as in the United States. Right now, you have to have liquid assets totaling at least $500,000, but they do have some select programs that open for less, where you have less liquid assets. Total investment of $329,000 up to $3.7 million to open up a Wendy's, with a royalty fee of 4%. That's coming in less than the median for food and beverage, which is 5.3%. Number 11, Circle K. So we've done videos in the past on Circle K, more than 11,000 stores worldwide, US counts at about 5,600. It's been fluttering, hasn't been expanding so much in the United States. Circle K competes in that tough area of convenience and gas stations in the United States. 12 on the list is Jazzercise, which was established back in 1968 by Judy Shepard Missett as a fitness company out of Illinois. They started franchise in 1982, about 7,800 units in 32 countries. 5,800 of those locations are in the United States. It's going to set you back anywhere from $2,400 to $21,000 to open up a Jazzercise, but their royalty fee is steep at 20% royalty. Jazzercise closing a lot of locations like the number 13 spot, Jackson Hewitt, leading provider of full service individual federal and state income tax preparation. Like H&R Block, they are closing a lot of locations. They're down to 5,400 locations. So they had a lot more years back. To open up a Jackson Hewitt, it's going to be $42,000 to $81,000. Number 13, cleaning company, Jani-King, established in 1969. Currently more than 7,500 franchisees around the world, with 5,400, about that number in the United States. 20,000 to 51,000 to open with a 10% royalty fee. Number 15 on the list of the most popular franchises in 2022 is Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut has expanded across the world with 11,000 plus franchise stores, and of those, 5,300 are located in the United States. Among the requirements to be a franchisee of Pizza Hut, you have to be willing to work in the pizza shop on a daily basis and have enough capital commit to opening at least 2 locations. So minimum net worth of $700,000 and liquid assets of at least $350,000 per location is going to set you back anywhere from $367,000 to $2 million. I haven't seen the financials work well for a new build out of a Pizza Hut unless you're investing close to that $400K, $500K level. They haven't been operating that well in the United States, but they do continue to expand abroad. 16 on the list is the UPS store. They started back as mailbox, etc. in 1980. 5,000 locations in the United States, as well as they have a couple locations in Canada. You got to have $150,000 net worth, as well as liquid assets of $60,000, $150,000 to $500,000. It's kind of a stable business. You're not going to become a millionaire from the business, but you're probably also not going to close down and go bankrupt. It's a business that's pretty stable where owners are making $50K, $100K, $150K, actively working in the business. Number 17 on the list, the third cleaning opportunity, Coverall, founded in 1985. They have 4,800 locations in the United States, 8,100 around the world, 18,000 to 51,000 to open. 18th on the list is Ace Hardware, 5,000 locations around the globe. About 90% of those are in the United States. To open one up, it's pretty costly at $300,000 to $1.6 million to open up an Ace Hardware. Next up, you have Great Clips. They have about 4,450 locations. Almost all of those are in the United States. You have to have a minimum net worth of $300,000 as well as liquid assets of at least $50,000 for Great Clips. It's going to set you back anywhere from $178,000 to $376,000. For Great Clips, I would look at buying an existing one as the startup costs are going to be hard and the payback period's pretty long for Great Clips as well as other salon franchises that we've studied at Vetted Biz. And then 20th on the list, Little Caesars. Sadly, I think they're going to be kicked off the list for 2023. They have 4,100 locations, investment of $378,000 up to $1.6 million. Domino's does a lot better financially. You have a lot more Domino's franchisees doing very well financially compared to Little Caesars franchisees. Also, the royalty is pretty high at 6% royalty fee and a pretty high marketing fee on top of that. So you've noticed there's been a lot of tax planning franchises that have been closing down. A lot of the cleaning franchises have been closing locations. So I do anticipate some pretty big reordering of this top 20 list. And I imagine 13, 14 or so of the franchise brands I mentioned today on this episode will make the 2023 cut when we record that.